I went from being a person who was totally shy, full of imposter syndrome, low on confidence, never speaking up in team meetings, consciously anxious and stressed at work, to giving talks, hosting panels, networking with thousands of people, and presenting to entire organizations and clients. And now I can tell you that confidence is something that you are not born with. It is something that can be taught. And if I can do it, then so can you. I am somebody who's gone through this massive transformation to get to where I am today. I totally believe that these are the tips and tricks that I wish somebody had shared with me, and that's what I'm going to share with you in today's video. Hi my friends, my name is Meher. I'm your career coach and mentor, helping you take your career to the next level. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you the confidence hacks that have worked for me that will help you become a more confident person at work and even personally in your friend circle. So sit back, grab a cup of chai and take notes as I talk about these hacks. First and foremost, let's talk about why exactly is it important to be confident in the workplace, at work. So see, it is absolutely simple. If you believe in yourself, other people will also believe in you. I say this a lot and very often is that you may be the smartest person in the room with the most number of degrees, the experiences and the skills. But if you are not able to communicate your skills, your opinions, your inputs with confidence, nobody else will think that you have those opinions, those skills, or those experiences, or those inputs. You have to toot your own horn. You have to self-promote shamelessly. And there's a fantastic quote that says people don't get promoted for doing their job well. They get promoted for demonstrating their potential to do more. So it's not like they're working harder or smarter. They're just able to showcase that they are doing so. And many studies have shown that confidence is directly related to success. It plays a huge role in how successful you're going to be, no matter what success means for you. Because if you're confident, it will have a direct impact on your performance, on your growth, on your ability to build a network, on your resilience, on your perseverance. If you have confidence, you won't be afraid to reach out to people for projects. You won't be afraid to raise your hand to do something different. You won't be afraid to learn from your mistakes. You won't be afraid of what other people are thinking of you. And that's why you will keep going. You will not let your insecurities stop you. You will learn to move away from things that are too comfortable or too familiar, because you will put yourself consciously in that position. And because you do that more often, success will come to you. So now let's get down to the how, the hacks as to how you can start building your confidence. And the first thing that you need to do is identify what is actually stopping you from feeling confident in the first place. Why are you not feeling confident? So once you understand what exactly is stopping you from being underconfident, you will be able to tackle it. So for example, is the confidence low because of external environment, or is it low because of your internal feelings? So for example, is it to do with the work environment, micromanagement? Maybe you have toxic bosses. Maybe you're in a group of friends who are bullies. Maybe your family is toxic. Or it could be something that's internal. Maybe you are a perfectionist. You have imposter syndrome. You have self-doubt. Or you have a constant fear of failing. For me, definitely in my first job, it was more external. I was in a toxic work environment. I was not appreciated for what I was doing. I had superiors who were very bossy and rude. I had colleagues that were really critical. There was constant miscommunication, misunderstanding, and micromanagement that really affected my self-belief. But when I came to London and I started working here, it was definitely more internal, because I started feeling like I wasn't good enough. People around me were more capable. My managers were younger than me. I felt like I had been on this journey that wasn't appreciated and I was in the wrong place. So I constantly had this feeling of self-doubt, of imposter syndrome. I held myself back. So definitely the environment was supportive. So it wasn't external, but it was internal. I was internally eating myself up alive. So once you've identified what is stopping you from being confident, let's get into the nitty-gritties of how you can change that. Because once you know what's causing it, you can tackle it in an easier manner. So the first thing that you need to do is the inner work, that is the mindset work. And here I want you to do 3 simple things. The first is that you need to start to visualize yourself super confident. You know, we all have this version of ourselves that we are meant to be, that we're keeping inside ourselves trapped, that superwoman or superman version of us. And I want you to do this exercise. Think of your best possible self at work. Create that persona, the shining bright version of you that would be good at everything. What would they look like? What would they wear? How would they talk? How would they conduct themselves? How would they walk? How would they present themselves in a team meeting? How would they act? How much knowledge would they have? Visualize yourself as your greatest self on a daily basis. Let's take an example of Ben. Now, Ben is somebody who constantly thinks of himself as a successful person. He imagines himself as a partner of the company every single day. So the way he walks is different. He's wearing a power suit. The way he conducts himself, the way he talks to seniors in the team, the way he's talking to clients, is just different. He's ready to contribute to meetings because he is shining bright. Whereas let's take the example of Ken. Now, Ken is somebody who does not visualize himself successful on a regular basis. He thinks of himself as the smallest version of himself. Now, what happens is that he stops himself from contributing. He has a very weird pace. He is not dressed the part. He's avoiding discussions. He's not sharing his perspective. He's holding himself back from shining bright and sharing his expertise because he's drowning in self-doubt. Now, who do you think is able to make a bigger impact? Is it Ben or is it Ken? I'm telling you, my friends, if you have to imagine yourself in any form, why not make it bigger? Why not make it better? Why not believe in yourself? Why not think that you could be the best version of yourself? My friends, if you're finding this video useful, please hit the subscribe button and share this video with a friend who you think may find it useful. And the second thing that I want you to do is find a way to reduce your negative self-talk. We all have that negative voice in our head that constantly holds us back. We are our biggest critics. I'm telling you, if you go into a meeting and you do 5 things really well, but you mess up one thing, your brain will only be wired to think about that one thing that you did wrong. But I want you to stop doing that. Nobody knows the thoughts that are playing inside your mind other than you. So why not change them? Why not make them positive? Why doubt yourself? Why not believe in yourself for a change? Why not be your own best friend? So instead of saying something like, oh my God, this interview is going to go horribly, say something like, this interview is going to go great. These are positive affirmations. They fuel us to keep going. Now, let me give you the example of Ben and Ken. Now, Ken is somebody who's new to the organization. Ken realizes that he is new, so he holds himself back from team meetings because he thinks he doesn't know anything about the company right now and he won't be able to contribute and he doesn't know what to say, basically, even though he may have ideas in his head. So he does not volunteer and people think that he probably doesn't have any professional opinions, whereas Ben, on the other side. Now, Ben is somebody who realizes that he's new to the team. He's not expected to know everything about the company. Everybody in his team has been in the organization for longer than him. So they will obviously have more knowledge about the projects, about the companies, the rules, etc. more than him. That is Ben. But Ben does not take this negatively. He says things positively to himself. So instead of saying that, oh my God, I know nothing about this project or this company. I am somebody who's new to the organization. I was hired for a reason. I am here because I want to add fresh perspectives and my ideas, my experience to the table. So Ben will not hold himself back because of the negative talk. He will reduce his negative talk. He will challenge it in such a way and convert it into a positive thought. So when you do actually feel that negative thought creeping in, and this will happen to us on a daily basis in the personal aspect of life or professional aspect, when you feel that thought coming in, creeping in, challenge it, stop it, convert it into something positive. The third thing I want you to think about is what is the worst thing that could happen. Now, you know that quote, if it's not going to matter in 5 years' time, don't spend 5 minutes worrying about it. So what if you mess up a meeting? So what if you miss a deadline? So what if this interview doesn't go well? What's the worst thing that can happen? What happens is that when we are thinking negatively, we go down into this spiral of thinking about the worst case scenarios. Why not think of the best case scenario for a change? Why not think, yes, my interview is going to go well. Oh my God, I'm going to get a raise. Oh my God, I'm going to get a project. Oh my God, I'm going to be recognized for my work on this project. Oh my God, everybody wants me on their team. Oh my God, I am going to get promoted this year. So when you're in a situation where you have to imagine either the positive consequences or negative consequences, please do not go towards the negative consequences. Try to imagine positive consequences of a project, of a deadline, of any meeting, and see how it actually propels growth for you and boosts your confidence on a regular basis. Now that we've worked on our mindset, that is the inner work, I want you to start taking action. Now that's the second part of this video where we will talk about the steps that you can take to do the outer work. Once you've trained your mind, once you've trained your brain, you can actually take the steps on a daily basis to become more confident. Now, what do I mean by that? The first thing that you can do in the actions category is find something challenging to do every week. Now, that is so important, and you'll see that successful people, confident people do this on a daily basis. They do things that make them uncomfortable. Now, for example, when I went for my master's at Imperial in London, I was somebody who had never presented in a team meeting, in a board meeting, or even to like 2 clients at work. I had never given a presentation. So when we were assigned to do group projects, I actually raised my hand to my team and said, hey, I want to present. I knew my first presentation is going to suck. I'm going to do horribly because I had never done it before. And if you watch that video where I actually gave my first presentation, I am so bad at it. But because I took up the courage to actually go ahead and do something new, challenge myself, the next time that I went in for a presentation, I was slightly better than the first time. So it's about taking baby steps in the right direction. And that's exactly what a Ben would do also. If Ben is afraid of presenting in a meeting, speaking up in a meeting, he would start with a group of maybe 2 people. Then the next time would be 5 people. He would push himself every single time so that he gets better with each milestone. And that's the homework that I'm giving you. Challenge yourself to do something different at work every single week. And the second thing that I did not do at all in my first job is gathering feedback. Now, what happened at work for me when I was working at KPMG, I used to keep working very hard and I thought I was doing good work, but not great work. And because I felt I wasn't as good as some of my other colleagues and peers, I had this imposter syndrome and self-doubt that, oh my God, I'm going to get caught. Oh my God, nobody will want me on their team. That's why I resisted from talking to my manager about my performance, about how well I was performing, what I needed to improve on. So basically, I never gathered any feedback on my work. I never knew what I needed to improve on. I never knew what my strengths were, what my weaknesses were, because I was never in that position to have that conversation with my manager. I was always given a rating 3. If you worked at the Big Four, you know there's a scale of 1 to 5. I was given the rating that I was a strong performer, not an extraordinary good performer, not an average performer, but like a strong performer. And that was enough for me to, keep going, because I wasn't striving to do better, because I wasn't gathering feedback. But what happened when I started working in London was that I had different energy. I wanted people to tell me what I was bad at so that I could improve, because I wanted to be recognized, because I wanted to be a part of this great pool of talent and understand that yes, I also have a perspective, yes, I also have a voice, and yes, I'm also coming from this background and with this experience that I'm bringing to the table. And in fact, the company that I worked at was actually really good at it. They had regular meetings with someone called a performance manager where we would discuss what I did well, where I had to present the things that I did well, and I had to reflect on my own development areas. But because in my first job, I thought everybody was better than me, that I was the worst on the team, I was afraid of that criticism. That's why I did not set up those meetings. But a Ben at work who is confident and who believes in their abilities would set up that meeting regularly with their bosses. So I encourage you as a homework to actually set those regular performance-based appraisal meetings with your boss and put them in the diary on a regular basis, whether that's quarterly, monthly, weekly, whatever works for you. And I would also encourage you to set up a meeting with your boss's boss, because that will also help you become more confident and show them that you are a valuable member of the team, and honestly just showcase that you exist and that you worked on some great projects and you are a core asset to your manager's team. Be the Ben. Realize that you're on a journey of self-improvement. You are only getting better. Yes, I'm not saying keep making the same mistakes again and again. Learn from your feedback, gather feedback, learn from it, and then do better. Don't repeat those mistakes, because then there's no point of gathering that feedback. And that brings me on to the third thing that you need to do. The action that you have to take is monitor your successes. What happens is that we are on this journey. We're working very hard on a daily basis, but we forget what are the amazing things that we are achieving every week, every day, every month, on every project. Like I said, our brains are wired to think more of the negative situations and remember the negativity and not the positivity. So this is something that I personally started doing when I was working in London, is that I wanted to get promoted. And for me to be able to get promoted, I had to start building my credibility. That yes, I have done some credible work in the last 6 months. So what I did was, and now I do that as a businesswoman as well, is that I maintained a list, a digital diary of all the things that I was doing well. Now those could be the smallest achievements, that I communicated well with the client, that I was able to finish the project on time, that I presented to a team of 3 people, that I got extended on the project, that I got more revenue for the business, so that by the time I had that meeting with my senior manager, with my performance manager, I had that portfolio of proof of all the things that I had done well. Now those could be things that I had not done well also. And let's say in week 1, I did not do so well in communicating with the client. Now the next week, I would try and improve on what I did not do too well, so that when I presented to my manager, I would say, hey, this is something that I did not do well in the first week, but I made sure and I made it a point to improve on it every single week thereon. To show that you're somebody who is self-reflective, somebody who has self-assurance, somebody who is able to stand on their own 2 feet and take responsibility and ownership for their own work. Now, how could you gather this portfolio of proof and these list of accomplishments? Could be anything. It could be the milestones that you have achieved. It could be emails that you've got congratulating you for your work. It could be praise that you've got from the client in terms of messages, emails, cards, or even verbal praises that you may get. It could be things that your colleagues have said to you or appreciated in you. It could be an email with some positive feedback. And that's exactly what Ben does too. When Ben is feeling down and out and low, he just goes back to his list of achievements and his successes and literally has this portfolio of proof that states that he has done some great work. And then that makes him feel a little bit better. So stop holding yourself back and give yourself a little pat on the back for all the things that you've done well. Now the 4th point is body language. They say that you communicate without even saying anything. Without uttering a word, people around you have judged you already. And that's on the basis of the way you're carrying yourself. You will see a very big difference between confident people and underconfident people. Confident people like Ben are people who, pay very close attention to the way they're carrying themselves. Now, their shoulders will always be back. Their hair will always be neat. They'll make good eye contact. They will shake your hand with confidence. They will have good posture. They will not fidget. They will not look nervous. They will not look down. They will not look at the time again and again. And it is very true. Our bodies can change our minds. And again, multiple studies have been conducted on this, that the way we carry ourselves has a very direct impact on how we are feeling on the inside. So I would really say that you practice some power poses, how you're going to use your hands, hand gestures, and I've made videos on non-verbal communication as well that you can check out. But definitely I would say that you may be unconsciously, unintentionally, maybe you're self-sabotaging yourself by demonstrating your body language in a negative manner. So Ken, on the other hand, would hold himself back and not realize that, the way he's conducting himself is showcasing his own insecurities. He has closed-up postures, and that is not a sign of a confident person. So please remember, the way you interact, the way you conduct yourself, the way you carry yourself has a direct impact on your professional image. And that brings me to the next point, fifth point, which is power dress for success. Now, for example, all of you know that I love dressing up, putting a good outfit together, and I have a separate page on Instagram called Workwear by Meher because I definitely feel that clothes and the way we dress ourselves has a huge impact on the way we are feeling. And if you look at me today, I'm dressed up, I'm wearing a nice outfit, I've put on makeup, some jewelry, because I knew I was going to shoot today. And instantaneously, since I've gotten dressed, my energy levels are different. And that is really true. If you want to increase your energy levels, if you want to look more like a professional and feel more like a professional, if you put on a nice outfit that complies with the dress code of your organization, or even let's say the dress code of your organization is business casual, but if you go wearing a power suit in a business formal attire, your confidence that day will be next level. You will be probably dressed as the partner, and the partner and the director and everybody else in the organization will be looking at you because you will have this aura, this energy around you that nobody else does. And that's exactly what Ben does. Ben wears his power suits at work. Matching tie, crisp shirt, iron suit, polished shoes. Because he knows that the way you present yourself can have an impact on how others perceive you. So not only does it impact what you're feeling on the inside, it's also external. You are representing not just yourself, you're representing your organization, the brand that you are associated with. So you have that responsibility to do your best and look your best. Once Ben is better dressed, it will definitely help him make a stronger impression and also give the impression that he takes his work seriously. And my last tip is definitely something that I now do so much and regularly is literally preparing well in advance and keep gaining knowledge. Now, what happens is we feel low on confidence because we feel that our opinions are not as valuable as others because our knowledge is not the same. If you have a meeting coming up in the diary, what you need to do is go through the agenda of the meeting and prepare well in advance. Make notes. Think of the questions that you're going to ask to the team members. Think of what you're going to say in the team meeting well in advance. If you're prepared in advance, you will feel confident in the moment that you need to be confident in. And you will be able to prepare well for meetings, for presentations. If you keep learning more about your industry, about your sector, about your field, about your organization, about your clients. When you feel like you have a lot of knowledge and you have a lot of knowledge to share, confidence becomes automatic. For example, for me now, I have never been more confident in my professional journey is because I'm doing something that I really love. I'm doing something that I'm so passionate about. And as a career coach today, I realize that I have a responsibility that so many people are looking up to me for career advice, for getting better in their careers. And that's why I need to constantly be on this journey of learning new things, of actually listening to podcasts, reading news, coming up with ideas on how you need to make decisions for your careers. Be very well aware of the trends that are happening in the industry. So if you know that you have a knowledge gap, then all you need to do is go and fill that gap. Learn on a regular basis, keep yourself updated, and use your skills to the betterment of your career and of your organization. If you contribute more at work, people will recognize you to be a confident person. So that's it, my friends. I want to wrap up this video with 3 final things that I want to say. First and foremost, please remember that this confidence journey gets better with practice. Now, who I am today is not the same person that I was 5 years ago. Practice makes perfect, so keep going. Second is that you are your own best friend. Nobody's going to come and vouch for you. Nobody's going to come and change your inner dialogue. You have to do that yourself. You have to do it for yourself. So stop caring about what others are thinking. Be authentic and real about yourself. If you didn't like that movie, tell your friends you did not like that movie. If you like an outfit that you're wearing, stop seeking validation from others, whether your outfit is good or not. And the third, if something bad happens, please remember it is momentarily. Learn from your mistake and make sure you don't repeat it. But remember, at the end, this too shall pass. I hope this video was useful for you. Please comment below to share your own confidence journey and how I can help you become more confident if there's anything else that you want me to cover. So once you comment below, I will make sure to cover it in my next video. I'll be back soon with another one, but until then, keep shining bright. I hope to see you soon. Bye.